All right, guys, it's happening. The Utah Jazz lost again, and it was an important loss, this time against the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Jazz out-tanked the Tankers. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd post-game show. All right, guys, before we get into this, let's just give a shout out to our sponsor, Prize Picks. Use promo code HoopsNerd at prizepicks.com or the Prize Picks app. They will match up to $100 on your first prop bets. Go over there, bet the over on rebounds for Walker Kessler. You're going to get it. Or bet the under if it looks like it's a night where the Jazz are going to have someone like Lou Dort focusing on Lauri Markkanen. Sorry, it's late, and I was watching the Lakers, and they didn't find a way to win. I was hoping they'd win so the Wolves would get worse for the Jazz, which is better. We're living in a bizarro land where everything's upside down, okay? But anyways, go to prizepicks.com, use promo code HoopsNerd. I would really appreciate it. It supports the channel, and it's a lot of fun, to be honest. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to start doing more prize picks the rest of this year because with teams tanking and things like that, it's really easy to predict some of the things that go on. All right, let's see. And by the way, if you're new here, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All right, let's get into this. Let's talk about the Jazz and the Thunder. Let's talk about the Thunder first. The Thunder are resting SGA for the rest of the season, it feels like. He's in COVID protocols. He's got some sort of strained muscle thing going on. I'd believe it if they didn't do it every single season, if you know what I mean. So we'll see, but even without SGA, there's still a team that is filled with young, good, athletic, big talent. They are, tonight, Lou Dort was probably their most important player. They really focused on guarding Lauri Markkanen. In fact, I'm going to put this out there just so I can share with all the people on the Twitter sphere. But anyways, Lou Dort was fantastic for the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. He was guarding Lauri Markkanen. He was face guarding him all night, and then they were doubling him at times. All right, let me just post that live really quick. Okay, so anyways, like I said, Lou Dort was fantastic for Oklahoma City tonight. Not only was the defense just phenomenal, and you see that in the plus-minus of plus 19, but he was just awesome on offense. 50% from the field. He was 4 for 9 from 3. He was just knocking it down. And look at this. 4 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. I mean, he was just an absolute monster for the Lakers. Or not the Lakers. I've got Lakers on the brain. I was watching them trying to let's watch the Wolves win. But anyways, Lou Dort was fantastic for the Thunder. And he's just a piece that they're going to want to keep for a long time because his defense is he is just such a disruptor. And those are the types of defenders you want on the perimeter. Guys that just get in jerseys, just absolutely blow plays up. It's kind of like a nose tackle in football when they run the ball. And if they can just disrupt the play, it does so much for you. And it's the same thing in basketball. If he can just get up and force the ball handler out of what he wants to do. So much of NBA offense and just basketball in general, the best players know where they're going to shoot the ball. They know how to get to their spots, and that's what they're trying to do. And players like Lou Dort don't let it happen. He is so physically imposing. It's impressive. The duo of Jalen Williams is awesome. I know Jalen Williams with the Y. I don't know how we differentiate. Oklahoma City Thunder fans, if you're watching this, let me know how you guys differentiate it. But there's the Y and the L, I guess. But anyways, Jalen Williams, who played center for them, he's pretty solid. I like him. Him and Jalen Williams are a fun, interesting duo. Williams, obviously not quite as an elite player, but he knocks down those threes at a pretty high clip. Tonight he did not. He only takes like 2 a game, but I think they said 43%. That's rung true last time they played the Jazz. Anyways, Jalen Williams, the other Williams, he's the one that's in kind of the Rookie of the Year running. Obviously, Paolo Banchero is going to win, but Jalen Williams has been right up there with like Walker Kessler and some of these other rookies that have played really well this season. Tonight he was awesome. 20 points. 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 steals. I mean, this guy does everything. And I'll be honest, let me know, Thunder fans, what you think. But I really would rather have Jalen Williams than Josh Giddey. I think they hit a home run with him. He's fantastic. He has such good size. I'm curious what his raw stats are, but he's 6'5". He looks bigger to me. Maybe it's the hair, but 12, 4, and 3. So he does a little of everything. He's big. He defends, and I really love his handle. So he's a guy that can go in and let's see what his percentages are. He's shooting 51 from the field, 33 from three. So that 3-point shot could get a little better, but those are solid for a rookie. And the fact that he's just a big playmaker, it's fantastic for them. Having a guy like that is going to be so nice for them, and they're going to get a good pick in this draft. Yeah, L will and Y will. Maybe. Why not? That's pretty good. But anyways, he's awesome. I love him. He is going to be so good, and you can tell he's just going to get better and better and better. This 3-point shot is just going to improve when they have more talent on the floor. I mean, when you have SGA on the floor, Jalen Williams just gets better because of that gravity that goes towards SGA, and it opens things up for him. I mean, but this is really impressive and really nice if you're a Thunder fan. See him score 20 points and do this as the main option along with Josh Giddey. That's fantastic. Speaking of Josh Giddey, he had a night. Holy smokes. 18 points, 13 rebounds. 13 assists. That's a massive double-double. And he looked like the Josh Giddey tonight that everyone is excited about. The last few times I've watched him, it feels like he's not quite gotten as much better as you would have liked. But tonight showed exactly why people really love what he can do. Assists is incredible. He's so big. He's at least 6'9". He might be 6'10". He is so big. And that just helps you do so many different things when you're handling the ball. I mean, when you're, I guess, 6'8", he's so big. But when you're that tall, you can make every single pass, including the ones over top. So, and also on the other thing is that you're just taller. You can see above the trees. You know, it's the same thing with, I mean, I don't know why we're going with NFL analogies today, but when you have a taller quarterback, it's just easier to see the field and easier to see what's going on and make a decision. Same with basketball. If you're taller than the guy that's guarding you, you can see over top and you have an easier time seeing what's going on. And so it just helps you make decisions. And you can just make more passes that you might not have been able to do before. And so that's why having size is such a big deal. And it's why the Jazz are likely going to go with size in the draft, because it just is better. Bigger is better. Sorry, guys. It's just the truth. Can't teach size. Can't teach size, as the old folks all say. Isaiah Joe is kind of one of those awesome stories. I know the numbers tonight. I mean, 38%. This is kind of an off night, actually, for Isaiah Joe. Because if you look at his 3-point percentage, my goodness, is he an absolute sniper. They picked him up for nothing, and I think it was the Sixers. Doc Rivers has got to be chewing on nails. Was it? Let me know, Thunder fans. Was it the Sixers they got him from? Yeah, Philadelphia. They just dropped him. Look at what he's shooting from three this year. 47% from the field, but look at this. 44.6. Absolutely incredible pickup by the Thunder, and he was solid tonight. From the field, not as great, but man, is he a sniper. And he was a sniper the last time they played the Jazz. He is just an incredible pickup for them. In terms of just needing a shooter. I mean, I think as they develop, you know, obviously he'll probably come off the bench once SCGA comes back, but what a luxury to have someone like this come off the bench and shoot 44% from three. Holy cow. Holy cow. Not a lot else to say. It was nice to see Jared Butler get picked up. I'm rooting for Jared Butler because I still think he has a chance to be a solid NBA player. I think he can be a sixth man for a team. But he's still got some things to figure out. I don't know. But I'm rooting for the guy because he's really nice. All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Lauri Markkanen tonight struggled. He had Lou Dort on him all night. I actually think these numbers are pretty impressive. I mean, minus 26. This was the Lou Dort effect. It didn't quite affect him as much last game, but tonight you could really see it. They were really focused on Markkanen. And the fact that they were focused on Markkanen and the Jazz just did not have a ton of other talent on the floor that could really take advantage in a big way is a big reason why the Jazz lost this game. I mean, 3-point shots, Lauri took a few open ones, but he missed all 5, so his 3 wasn't falling tonight. But even with all this focus and attention, he still manages 20 points, 10 rebounds. This is where Lauri Markkanen's at, where you have a really rough matchup, a tough night. There's really no one else that's able to bail you out in any way. I mean, Ochai Agbaji is arguably the best other perimeter player, and he's still figuring it out, and his shot wasn't quite falling. And so this is pretty much, can't really I mean, it's not surprising. Any player in that situation is going to struggle. So, but anyways, this is good for Markkanen to just continue to develop, and that's what's going to be going on the rest of the season as the Jazz continue to lose games, which is the goal. That's what they're doing. If you didn't know, that's what they're trying to do, is basically focusing on developing the young players. Give Lauri Markkanen a chance to be just the number one guy in a really tough situation. See how he handles it, and honestly, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. When you have Jalen Williams 6'8" and Lu Dort, who's an absolute bulldog on defense, one of the best disruptive defenders in the NBA, and you have them just unleashed on you to still put up 20 and 10 with some pretty decent efficiency, to go to the line and shoot 11 free throws. Fantastic. He is absolutely a superstar, and the Jazz just need to pair him with someone who can be an on-ball guy. That's why if the Jazz win the lottery, and even if it's like number 2 or number 3 or 4 or something like that, and you get Brandon Miller or Lu Dort or Amen Thompson, and you have that other guy that can be that primary ball handler, man, things get really exciting for the Jazz. Really exciting. I kind of want to talk about the draft a little bit tonight, guys. I'm going to start doing some more draft stuff because this draft is awesome. It's awesome, and there's a reason the Jazz are interested in getting talent in the draft. And by the way, the Wolves, I mean, that's why I was late tonight. I was watching the Lakers. Sorry. I was rooting for the Lakers. Lakers! You know that gif? But anyways, I was watching the Lakers because the Wolves have a tough schedule. I mean, this was one of their easiest final games of the season. By the way, not many games left. I was looking at it. Jazz only have, I mean, what are the standings? There's not a ton of games left. So the Jazz really need to get to lose. Look at this. So after tonight, they're 31 and 33. That's what, 64 games? So 82 minus 64. There's 18 games left for the Jazz. They really need to focus on losing basketball games because they can really jump. The Lakers are trying their darndest to win. The Jazz are going to lap the Lakers because they're trying. Utah is not trying. Wizards have won 2 in a row. They're a solid team, and they're trying. So at worst, the Jazz are going to be in this 10 spot. And then if Portland keeps trying, Dame's not going to sit. So, and by the way, Portland in the last month or two has the number 1 offense in the NBA by a mile. So Dame is just going crazy. Jazz are going to be in the, and then Chicago. Chicago lost 1. They're 3-7 in their last 10. Utah's out. The Chicago thing is so weird. So I think at worst, the Jazz are going to be at 8. They're going to be at the 8 spot. That's at worst. And what if Chicago figures something out and starts winning some games? Who knows? Maybe you can get 7. I don't know. But there's like an outside chance you get the 6, but most likely the Jazz are going to end up in the 8 because all these teams are trying to win. All 4 of these. Oklahoma City, not as much. They're trying to tank. They really are. But I think the Jazz play them again like next game. And guess what? The Jazz aren't very good when they have no playmakers next to Markkanen. They just don't. They are just not very good. And another thing with this Jazz team is that one of the things we've seen all this season is that they have been an absolute blast to watch. Every single game has been close. Honestly, it feels like every single night up until like recently, you had close games and the Jazz either pulling it out late or losing in heartbreaking fashion, and they were staying kind of around 500 for most of the season. Well, things are catching up. When you don't have playmakers next to Markkanen, you don't have guys making life easier for him, it's just harder to score. And you're relying on players like Ochai Agbaji and Taylor Horton-Tucker to be your main playmaking guys, and that's really tough. Taylor Horton-Tucker, he was the playmaker today, and I do like some of the things I'm seeing from him. I mean, he does have so much potential. The question is, can he be the consistent player? And he had 5 assists tonight, but 6 turnovers. And 2 of those were 3-point shots where he was stepping out of bounds when he's shooting the 3. And so he's got a ways to go. Craziest thing about him is that he's younger than Ochai Agbaji. Isn't that to me, that's just fact about THT, but you'd like to see him develop a little more. Simone Fontecchio was in just an absolute terrible slump, and tonight he came out of it. He's 4 for 6 points. So nice to see him hit some shots, but it was pretty brutal. Rudy Gay played in this game. That's the analysis. Damian Jones got minutes over Doak. It's interesting. Damian Jones, in my opinion, is just a better player. He actually was pretty solid. 3 for 3 from the field. 3 rebounds. He's got so much. He's got crazy bounce. Crazy bounce. Simone Fontecchio. Yes, that's absolutely it. I don't know. Kelly Olynyk, I don't know if there's a lot to say. Kelly Olynyk was actually pretty solid tonight. And Walker Kessler was Walker Kessler. He had 4 blocks, 11 rebounds, 10 points. Just such a solid, incredible season for Walker Kessler. I mean, they only played him 25 minutes because he's honestly too good. That's an interesting thing right there, actually, is 25 minutes. And I know they were getting him blown out, and so they're probably trying to not put too much run on him to end the year. He's kind of proven everything you needed to know. But one thing I'd like to see with Walker Kessler is let him do some things that you wouldn't do if you were really, really trying to win. Like, let Walker Kessler take at least 1 or 2 threes a game. Why not? Why not? If Walker Kessler can at times pop out and shoot threes and you can have a 5-out offense, if the Jazz get wildly lucky in the lottery and they end up with someone like Scoot and you can have a 5-out offense and he can just drive to the rim, oh my gosh. The idea of Scoot Henderson with Will Hardy, I'm going to get hot and bothered thinking about that. So, anyways, right now you can prepare for that by allowing Walker Kessler to do the things that he might not be able to do if you were trying to win everything this year. You know, if you're doing everything this year, you're really trying to keep Walker Kessler tight and doing the right things. And he did a good job with that. Now the Jazz are playing pretty loose. They can try some things. Let him take some jump shots. Let him shoot threes. Let him run some plays for him like they did. I would love to see that. Ochai Agbaji, one thing I really liked is he was driving to the basket. They had the ball in his hands more tonight, and I love it because this is the same thing with Kessler. Let Agbaji make mistakes. And he made a couple tonight. He got that one ball where he got face guarded by, I think it was Lu Dort. I can't remember, and they stole it. That's great, though. That's awesome. Those are just live game experiences where he can learn from it, and he can practice that next practice and just figure it out. But if he's not playing right now, he doesn't get these opportunities. So these next 18 games for the Jazz are fantastic opportunities for Agbaji, Kessler, and Markkanen to just continue to be in different situations, play different teams, play different players so you get used to them and what they do. And it's big for Agbaji. He's turning into second player. I out of curiosity, he's been shooting like 40% from three. I wonder where he's at now that things have gotten a little tighter, but 38%. So 38% from three. And Jalen Williams is kind of one of the top rookies in the NBA, and he's shooting a worse 3-point percentage than Agbaji. And I know it's different roles. Jalen Williams is doing a lot more than Agbaji is, but nice to see Agbaji is showing that he can be a knockdown 3-point shooter in the NBA and do it from different parts of the floor. He's taking more top of the 3-point line threes than just the corner. It's nice to have that corner three, but you're not always going to be allowed to shoot that. So you've got to knock it down from all over the floor and knock it down in different ways. And he's getting a chance to really show that he can do that. Taking 9 threes is fantastic. This is great. This is good coaching too, by the way. And also, look at this. 2 assists. He made a nice play to Kessler. 3 rebounds. He's not filled the stat sheet as much as you'd like. So you'd like to see him do a little more. This is pretty good for what he does as just a 3-and-D player. 38% from 3, not bad at all. Exactly. But yeah, I'd like to see more of this. More rebounds. Can you get 2, 4, or 5 a game? Can you average about 2 assists per game as basically a spot-up 3-point shooter? That's really nice because that means you're moving the ball. Because the Jazz didn't really assist the ball very much. 24 is actually okay. 6 assists for Kris Dunn. All right, let's finish with Kris Dunn because he's been fantastic. He could have been such a big help to this Jazz team the last few years. Quinn Snyder wouldn't have played him. If you had a good coach like Will Hardy coaching those teams, he would have been on the floor doing some things for the Jazz, no doubt, because Utah just didn't do any adjusting at all for like the last 3 years. But Kris Dunn is a player that has come in and just looks really, really good. I mean, I think so. I can't remember who said it, but I think his 10-day contract ends like tomorrow. So we'll see if they re-up him and all this is meaningless. But I think he's worth holding on to. No? Why not? Can he become a little more consistent with his 3? I mean, one of the interesting things about Kris Dunn is that the 3-point shot was actually getting there. And I don't know what happened, injuries and different situations, but look at his 3-point percentage. When he first comes in the NBA, not great, but you can see an upward trend here, you know? And then he only plays 46 games, only 51 games. He plays only 4 games for Atlanta. A lot of this is just injury stuff, but he looks like an NBA athlete to me still. He moves like an NBA athlete, and his defense is fantastic tonight. 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 3 steals. He's just a lot of fun, and I love the swagger, the demeanor. I mean, this is the type of guy you want around your rookies and other players, like, you know, playing hard. He's trying to earn a contract, and that will force other players to keep playing hard, you know. His last 18 games are going to be interesting because, you know, there's going to be less and less incentive to win the farther the Jazz drop in the standings. And you want guys like Kris Dunn pushing everyone to keep going, you know. So he's just fantastic. I hope they keep him up. And the minus 24, I don't know. Crazy to me. So maybe something's going wrong, but minus 26 for Markkanen. So where I just don't. It's late. Sorry. That's why I just don't know if I pay attention. And it's with that too. But anyways, I love Kris Dunn. I love everything about him. I know the three's not that solid, and you know the assists are not always easy to come by, but he put up 6, showing he can play make a little bit. So that's fun to see. All right, that's about it, guys. I don't really have anything else to say. Johnny Juzang and Frank Jackson played in dead time, but not much to say there. All right, well, so the Lakers, they lost tonight. Those dumb Lakers. Morons. To win games. What is wrong with them? But it's time to just look at this lottery. Fact. Well, let's just cue the music. So loud on my end. But anyways, let's see. So the Jazz find themselves at 12th. It's frustrating they didn't lose that other game because look, if they are at 30 and 33, that puts Oklahoma City at 30, and they would have the tiebreaker. They need to lose that next game against Oklahoma City. Am I right? Yes, I am right. But anyways, Washington keeps winning. The Jazz are going to hop them. They're going to be in the top 10 soon. Likely number 8. We'll see. Portland's going to skip Oklahoma City, and we'll see what happens here. I guess at worst 9. I would really like to see the Jazz solidify the 7 or 8 spot, which I think is very, very possible. So, that time of night, the Jazz are at 12 now. Improved odds. If you get to 8, look at this. If you get to 8, you have almost a 25% chance to jump into the top 4. A 1-in-4 shot? Are you kidding me? I'll take that every day of the week. And then if you don't, you still have a number 8 pick, which is really nice, unless someone hops you. But anyways, let's see what they get. All right, Indiana jumps, Orlando jumps, Toronto jumps 12 spots and gets Scoot Henderson. That would be devastating to me, which would put Utah at 13 in this one. Ah, got it. Anyways, let's look at this. So 13 would get Sensabaugh, which he's a pretty nice player, to be honest. I like him. Grady Dick is really nice. I don't really want to draft him because I don't know. Can I just tell you some of the guys I love? Obviously, 1 and 2, they're fantastic. You all know my love of Amen Thompson, and I love Brandon Miller. You get in the top 4 in this draft, you're really excited. I'd actually put Brandon Miller at number 3. I think Brandon Miller is going to be super awesome. Asar Thompson, I think Tony Jones had it right. He compares him to Andre Iguodala. If you get prime Andre Iguodala out of this, man, that's pretty nice. Jarris Walker is nice. This guy is just an incredible size. He's got shot making, incredible defender. If you had him at the 4 and Lauri at the 3, that is phenomenal. Nick Smith Jr., guys, I love this guy. This guy reminds me of CJ McCollum with better playmaking, like a better passing CJ McCollum. He's so fun. Go watch his highlights against Georgia. Watch what he does. The guy looks incredible. And he's at 7. Keontae George, I'm out. Nope, I do not want Keontae George. I am over it with undersized shooting guards. Nope. If you're 6'4", you better be an elite playmaking guard, right? But shooting guards at 6'4", no thanks. Cam Whitmore is at 9 in this draft. A lot of people had him at 3 when the season started, and he's had an up and down year. started the season off with an injury. And there's been some games where he's had like single-digit points and kind of disappeared at times. But man, is this guy an absolute beast. And if you can get him at 9, are you kidding me? There's so many reasons why the Jazz want to get in the top 10, because if you bring these guys into your draft workouts and you can see him live, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And someone like Cam Whitmore could be an absolute steal. Just depends on, you got to talk to him. You got to see him. What's that fire? Because he got that dog in him, right? A lot of people love Anthony Black. I'm kind of, I think he might be nice. He's kind of one of those connector players. The percentages aren't quite what you want, but he's got pretty decent size. Solid passer. You can see that in his 4.3 assists per game and 2.1 steals. He's really solid, and he's playing next to Nick Smith over in Arkansas. So I probably should watch some Arkansas games, right? Arkansas! I just love old Arkansas. I don't even know what this segment has become. Cason Wallace is my crush. I love me some Cason Wallace, baby. I really love Cason Wallace. He might be Drew Holiday. He has got that, like, rip that ball out of the guy's hands. He's a solid shooter, solid playmaker. He's a very unselfish player to the point where sometimes you're worried he doesn't shoot the ball enough. But man, does he have a chance to be an absolutely dynamic guard, disruptive guard on the perimeter. Oh, we ran through the music. Let's play it again. We talked about Grady Dick, incredible shooter, but here's the guy that I'm surprised he's at 14. Jet Howard would be incredible on the Jazz. This guy is 6'8", absolute bucket, and he could be so nice if he's playing your wing or shooting guard, and you somehow find another guard. Like if the Jazz get Jet Howard with the Wolves pick, and I think the Wolves are going to be in this area. If you get Jet Howard and like Cason Wallace. Like, let's say things don't go as good as I hope, but you get Cason Wallace and Jet Howard, that's a fun team. And that's fantastic. And then obviously if the Jazz can somehow jump into this area right here, this is just, that's where I fall over out. I lose my mind. I lose my mind if something like this happens. Scoot Henderson looks like I love Scoot so much. I love Scoot. He is like built like an absolute, just like, he is a physical specimen. One of the things that's interesting, Raphael, forgot his last name. Raphael talked about it. He was in the podcast. His hands are massive. His muscles are massive. It's like in, called, have you guys seen Nacho Libre? When they're talking about the big famous wrestler, what's his name? I forgot. His muscles are the best. His hands are the best. His legs are the best. Everything is the best. He is a physically gifted player. The same thing with Victor Wembanyama. It's just incredible. And so the Jazz, if they could just somehow get better odds, jump and get one of these two players, it changes the team forever, especially if you get Victor. If you get Victor, the Jazz are going to win a title. They're going to win a title at some point. And that is why it's important to lose games. So anyways, tonight the Jazz dropped to 13, which is Bryce Sensabaugh. If they'd have stayed at 12, they get Grady Dick. Really nice shooter, but I honestly would I'd take Jet Howard over Grady Dick, to be honest. There's some things that say he might be a better defender. 1.7 steals is a big sign of that. Jet Howard is an incredible offensive player, and I think I'd rather get Jet Howard. Son of Jawan Howard, by the way. Coach's son. Jet at the Delta Center. I love it. But yes, Jet Howard, son of Jawan. So he's got that dog in him. He's got the dog in him. All right, let's see. Let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. Thank you guys for joining the channel and supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, you can join right here. Or here, or somewhere around here. There's a join button. You can become a part of the show. But let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. Shout out to Ezekiel Raicibe, the man from down under. See ya, Lexa Later, Built Ford Tough, Alexander Tufts, Jorge Arrezaga, mi amigo de Bajo, Baby Elliott Matson, Jordan the Goat, Bessroll, JB Just Buckets, Just Buckets JB, baby, Zap Watts, TGD Total Game Domination, Christian House Money to Haas, Tyson Price, The Price is Right. X marks the spot for Zintis, Austin our Grant, editor extraordinaire. DW to CB, Darren Williams to Carlos Boozer, Patrick Kakubo, the connoisseur, and Robert Hall of Fame. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Things are going very, very well for Jazz fans and the Jazz. I couldn't be happier, but the losing has to continue. Can we not win a game for the rest of the season? Can we really figure out how to do that? Because if they could be 31 and 50, whatever, that would make me really happy. If they could jump into here, oh mamacita. Yes, yes, yes. You tell me we can go get Nick Smith Jr. if we get to 7. Make it happen, Danny. Make it happen. I smell a hamstring tightness for Lauri Markkanen. That wrist injury for Jordan Clarkson, I don't think that's getting any better anytime soon. If you ask me. Collin Sexton, that thigh injury, I think we got to be careful. I mean, you know, sometimes when you get up too quick to go get some Cheetos, it re-aggravates. Okay? We got to be careful. It happens. All right, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Go sign up at Prize Picks. Use promo code HoopsNerd. Get some free money.